Sunday Drivestream. Okay, so I am parked. Let's start with that. That's important to say that right now. I can see it's very Sunday, isn't it? Rosie, Bell Dog, is about to get hooked in to her lovely little seat thing, so that's important. Safety first. Always say safety first. Let's get her put in. I have walked around the rig and checked to make sure all the tires are good and see if there's anything, sounds or anything else. Sort of like, you gotta do all that stuff. Seat belt, always important. Anyways, let's see what you guys are doing. I'm gonna put in my lovely little earbud so you can hear me better. Always like to try to be an earbud person for y'all so you can see, because it's gonna get a little noisy with some road noise. Actually, let me put in the other earbud. Let's go crazy. Let's go wild. What? No way. Okay. All right, there we go. Whew. Okay. Dog's in, I'm plugged in. Let's go. So happy Mother's Day to all those awesome mothers out there. And you know who I'm talking about. You don't have to birth the baby to be a mother, because let me tell you what, I've raised a lot of other people's kids and give a lot of guidance to a lot of people. And that is, part of being a mother is all that cool stuff. So anyways, happy Mother's Day to all you amazing people out there who have been mothers to the world, I say. I just stopped and got fuel at Buc-ee's. And when I say fuel, I mean diesel, as well as probably a chicken fajita taco. Just saying, and a sweet tea. We're gonna get going and see what's going on in the world, and I will share my view outside. It is a sort of a hazy day, one of those kind of things. A little rainy, a little drizzly, a little chilly, not too bad. Had to go to a wedding this weekend. Very cool. Oh, it's been a while. My kids are the age a lot of kids are getting married these days, and they're mid to late 20s and 30s, and so it's one of those things where all of a sudden I'm like, hey, I'm invited to a wedding. How cool is that? So I went to one, and what was really cool about it, and by the way, congratulations to Jacob and Marissa. Very, very proud of you guys. Very excited for you too. They did it their way. And I think that's cool when you can do a ceremony that's really just exactly how they want it. Their music, their way, their friends, everything. So kudos to you, bud. That was pretty awesome. Jacob and my son Noah were college roommates. So, anyways, okay, we're gonna get on the road. Let me show you what it looks like real quick here. On the road, we are leaving Buc-ee's as we speak and gonna get back out there. I got diesel today for 3.03 a gallon. Yeah, buddy. How cool is that? Love that. See if we can make this light without it turning Excello yellow. What? Oh yeah, well, it's a yellow. I tried. All right. We are currently at the Buc-ee's. We gotta go in the center lane. This guy will let me in. Always nice. Okay. Now let's get back to a regularly scheduled live stream, drive stream, right? All right. So I just put out a video this weekend about how to travel safely with pets, specifically dogs. And it's really important for people who do this to understand, there's a lot more to it than just throwing a dog in an RV or a car or a truck and just taking off. So I really thought these were tips that would be really helpful for a lot of people. Just a good refresher, a good reminder. But what I've noticed, and this is where it gets a little weird, guys, is I've noticed quite a few products out there on the market that are putting dogs way too close to airbags. And I'm not going to name names. I'm just saying there are a few out there. And I want you to think about this, because a lot of you have smaller pets. And I will say this: if you had a newborn baby, we keep them really secure. I know back in my day, we didn't have car seats. We all survived. Well, some of us did. But the whole idea is, think about this as your dog. It's your responsibility to keep your pet safe. You are the 100% caretaker of their safety. So you need to make sure that they are secure and away from airbags and, eating the right things, all the kind of great stuff. I mean, no pressure, but being a pet owner has a lot of responsibility to it. So this is just one of those things where I say, as a person who travels a lot on the road, that maybe no one takes the time and think about these things, because I wrote a book on how to travel with dogs, and I'm going to actually update it again because I found a few more things, a few more items, or whatever that might make your life a little easier. So if it's easy for you to travel and you're having a great time travel, your dog should have a great time too. So just think about that. So right now, Rosie is excited because we just made her stop. She got to stretch her legs, always nice. And they had a little dog area, a little dog walk. Sometimes she likes her, sometimes she doesn't. Sometimes it's just she's not a huge fan of dogs right now. She sort of likes being an only child, likes being the only dog, which is fine. which is fine. That's fine. She's 7.5. She's almost 8, so she deserves a little time to stretch her legs and be her baddest bitch self, right? Yeah. Hello. All right. Had a breakfast this morning at Cracker Schmerl. So I have a mega sweet tea from Cracker Schmerl. Once again, great place to park, great place, great people. Always love a good Cracker Barrel. They told me that today is their second busiest day of the year. So if you've ever gone to Cracker Barrel, just so you know, it's Thanksgiving's their busiest day, and Mother's Day is their second busiest day. I found it really interesting. Just something to think about. Oh, gotta love that. But I got there just in time. When I was leaving, people were waiting. Oh my gosh, it was like all the way around the building. People were sitting outside, playing checkers. They were getting people coloring sheets so you could color and do something while you wait. Makes sense. Something to think about. But since it's Mother's Day, I sort of like have a carte blanche for the day. So if I want to go somewhere, I'm going to go somewhere. If I want to buy something, I'm going to buy something. I give myself a little freedom on that. My kids been amazing. They've all called me and said Happy Mother's Day, which is nice. So happy about that. But I bought something at Bucky's that I needed, and it was sort of cool too. I like go around Bucky's and look at the aisles, just like get a little exercise and run around. I found a silicone flat. These things sort of stick on walls or fridges and things like that. Um, it sort of helps you open up jars. I love this. And I had one years and years and years ago in my other RV. I don't know what happened to it. I think the kid probably took it, but I bought one today. And I really do like these things. They're really handy. And they don't take up space. Like I said, they stick to like the wall, they stick to the microwave or something like that. So I got that, love that. And then I'm going to show you because I'm driving. Look at this, guys. This is a doggy, looks like my dog, to put your cords through so I can organize all my computer cords. I think it's cute. It's the little things. So I don't like to get a lot of stuff, but I do have a lot of computer cords. And when I'm trying to work and do things, I thought that'd be sort of fun. I like to fun things. I also saw a Scooby Doo hat. I didn't get it. I thought about it, and I'm like, when would I ever wear this? I liked it, but I probably wouldn't wear it. So, fun. Those kind of things. Yeah, there's not much any fuel. I need to make my van payment. Yay me. That's about it. I'm pretty simple. Every once in a while I find out, I have a textile obsession because sometimes I find good clothes. I'm like, I would really like that. That would be neat. Doesn't always happen. Doesn't always happen. A lot of vehicles on the road today, guys. I mean, every time I turn around, I'm being passed by a bunch of cars, and it's been a little busy out here. So if you're driving the road, please be safe. I know that I haven't seen a lot of people pulled over, which is nice, but it's been a steady stream of vehicles, that's for sure. I did get a comment on one of my videos. I love this. So you can't make everybody happy. That's the most important thing about, especially when you're driving. You can see I'm getting passed, but I'm going the speed limit. So hey, that's fine. People want to pass me, you go right ahead. I had a comment from someone who followed me apparently behind me, and I've got my name, of course, in my rig, so of course they know who I am. And they were upset that I was driving slow. I was actually driving speedily, and I was going up and down these hills, and it was one of those things where like turns are 45 miles per hour or 35 miles per hour, things like that. And let's face it, I have a really big RV and it could tip if you let it. So I was taking my turns carefully. This guy was mad. I should say guy. I think it's a guy. And he wrote comments on my videos saying, you need to drive faster. And I'm sort of, guessing what his voice would sound like. But I wrote back, I said, traveling with precious cargo and then traveling safely with precious cargo. So thanks for your comment, but I'm going to travel safely. So yeah, don't let other people push you into going too fast, and don't let other people push you into going too slow. Whatever, drive and make it comfortable for you, but just realize that you're in charge of you. No one else is. That's important. Try to be as safe as you possibly can. Drive in circles. I would say drive in circles, left, center, right. Just keep going in circles and be aware of things that are behind you as well, because you'll see a lot of accidents online, and you watch these videos of like semi trucks that came rolling down, and you're not thinking behind you. You have to be very aware of where you're going and how you're driving and what's going on. Anyways, These are things you got to think about when you're on the road, especially when you're on the big book, when you're on the road for a long time. So, gotta love that. For those of you guys who are watching the replay, just wanted to say, hey, thanks for watching the replay. Appreciate that. I love doing drive streams. They're sort of like spur of the moment, hanging out. It's nice to have someone to talk to. I can only sing so many songs at the top of my lungs, which is pretty sad, but I do. And I'm getting ready for a really, really, really big trip. So I'm actually taking the RV in for service first thing in the morning. It's got a recall on the AC. It's got a few things. I had a leak. Not really sure it came in, but it might be from the AC. And now I think, and yeah, so we'll see what's going on. And then I'm going to try this new thing. I have a Starlink. I have a Starlink Gen 3. And when you're on the road, you gotta have internet. That's just the way it is, right? But in a Starlink Gen 3, I'm going to try the new Mini, and I'm going to try to put the Mini on top on my roof rack. And we're going to see how that works because where I'm going is really in the middle of nowhere. And sometimes you got to drive, and have internet at the same time, and you don't always have good cell phone service. This might be my answer. So we're going to see. We're going to see how this works. Not really sure, but it's worth a shot. I mean, I'm paying for Starlink anyways, right? So I might as well just see what the deal is. I always thought that the Gen 3 dish, it's huge for one. I don't know, it takes a lot of energy and the Mini takes less. And for some reason I had this in my head that the Mini, didn't put out a lot of power. What it really does is it only covers, let's say, 1,200 square feet. Let's be specific on this. And the other Gen 3 covers a lot more space as far as like for a whole house, the way of putting it. So I don't need to be 3,000 square feet having internet everywhere. 1,200 square feet is really just fine, quite fine for me because I'm not traveling too far away from the RV, even if I'm sitting outside to use the internet. So I'll be fine. I'll be fine. So that's going to be a big, big, big thing. And then getting ready for, oh gosh, there's a lot of things this summer. I can't wait. So there's a lot of Overland Expos. And for my friends out there traveling, going to Overland Expo West in Arizona, I want to say hi to you guys. I know there's a big storyteller group going out there. There's a Tiffin group going out there. Can't wait to meet up with everyone. I'm going to meet up with everybody in Colorado. So I'll see everybody in Colorado first for the Overland Expo, and I'll see you at the Adventure Vehicle Expo. So that'll be fun. So I'll be there for those. Also going to a really nice Echo, two Echo meetups actually this summer. One in Amana, Iowa. Hello, hello. Good to see you there, buddy. How's it going? Oh my gosh, don't crash. I'm not going to crash. Trust me, I very rarely, things get, when you make a comment, it gets read in my ear. So I'm not paying attention too much to the screen. I'm paying attention to the drive. Um, but yeah, I'm getting ready for all these meetups and getting stickers ready. And what about doing patches? Some people have asked me for patches. I've got a lot of patches of other people's channels and rigs and things like that. That would be really cool. But I may not have time to do it. It's one of those things where I just, I run out of time. Like I put my ideas 2 weeks before I leave. So I may not have time for that. Sorry, guys. But I will bring stickers and I'll bring some swag. And yeah, come find me. Be pretty easy to spot. Just saying. Just look for the redhead. Pretty easy to find these things. Plus, they're a really big rig. Really big rig. Yep. All right. I'm trying to decide if I want to stop at Duluth Trading. It's been a while. See, textile obsession. These are things I got to think about. I don't think I need things. So I think I should just really keep going and get back and let Rosie have some time to herself this week. She's going to have her own little private dog park with a fenced-in backyard, which is really nice. She's going to love that. And let her just run around, run around. Got to get her a pedicure. Oh, her nails. Oh my gosh, her nails are so long right now. Not super long for me. This is from a lady who does their fingernails. So, just I want to keep them nice and trimmed and one so she doesn't, rip any kind of cushions and things like that. So, anyways, yeah. Uh-huh. Go get the underwear. So she said at Duluth Trading Company, they do have that chill underwear, don't they? They do have that really cool underwear stuff. I don't think I ever tried that years ago. I think I did. Duluth has a lot of cool things, but I'm good. I'm good. Good on the underwear. Let me just tell you that. I gotta read this. All right, so I am going eastbound now. Finally, I've been west and south for a while. I'm finally going eastbound, And I'll let you guys see what I'm seeing in a little bit. But traffic, I'm telling you, like this traffic has been something else. Really has. Really shocked at that. I thought on Mother's Day a lot of people would be inside, but not so much. All right. So of all the things that I gave you in my latest video, as far as traveling with pets, my biggest takeaway that I really want people to know about is I have been to so many campgrounds, and I mean so many campgrounds, where people decide they get an RV and they decide that they're going to go camp and then they're going golfing for the day and they're gone for like the whole day. And they assume that their rig is going to be electric, or they assume that the pedestal is going to work, or they assume their dog is going to be fine. They don't have a plan B. They don't have a phone number to reach. They never leave a key with the campground. Whatever it is that they do, they don't have someone to make sure their dog's okay in case of emergency. And I have seen way too many dogs pass away in campers, in RVs, um, from people who the electricity went out, the AC didn't work, they passed away from heat stroke, things like that have happened. It's really, really, really sad. So even though you have a waggle, a nimble, a blink, and this or that, which is great, and you got to make sure you're up on your temperature control and stuff like that. The biggest thing is, do you have an automatic start when it comes to things like AC? Are you able to set your thermostat at, say, I don't know, let's just say 80 at the 80 degrees, so it doesn't get any hotter, when you're away? Or are you able to have someone, if there's something that the electric is off? Or I've been to campgrounds before where people don't let you back in because there's maybe a crisis or a fire, and like you're waiting and you've left your pets in your RV. Now what do you do? So there's lots of things like that I this is my biggest takeaway. I keep telling people is, if you're going to go on a hike, you're going to go somewhere big, and you're not bringing your rig with you, with your pet with you, and you're leaving them in your rig, please, please, please take the time, come up with a really good plan B. And if you don't have one, then really think about how long you're going to be gone, because things happen really quickly and it really is distressing. I've watched people it's very, very sad. So luckily, knock on pleather. We've been very, very fortunate, and I've always had like a temperature control system in my rig. I've always had plan B. I would like to get a combination automatic lock for my door, so I don't have to give someone a key. That always scares me. I really don't want them driving off in my rig, but that's something to think about, is just let them get in and get my dog. That's all. That's all they need. All they need is to get the dog out. Now, she's not super friendly, I'm not gonna lie. And in fact, she's very, very, very protective of the rig. So whoever does it will have to have, you know, protection. Her whole job is to protect the rig. So I would consider like leather gloves or something. I don't know. Or they'd have to know her really, really, really well. So that's pretty much why I don't spend a lot of time away from the rig too much, especially at events or things like that, because it's hard when you're boondocking and you want to leave all the doors open, things like that. I'm lucky enough to have a really, really nice, sturdy screen door that I can lock. That's got a metal frame and metal screen, not just the mushy plexi screen, but a really good screen. So that's been really handy, so I can get some air going. But yeah, I don't like to leave her for too long. A couple hours, 3 hours tops before I check on her and go from there. And normally, and like I said, my Amazon Blink system, I can tell what the temperature is inside, so I can see her inside and I can see what the temperature is and go from there. Plus, I have an automatic um, AC start, and I can set the temperature for that. I love, love, love that. It gives me that peace of mind that I really need when I'm traveling. And because this is a four-season RV, because I'm in a Winnebago Echo, it does maintain temperature pretty darn well. Now in the wintertime, this floor is really cold. So you do need a kind of mat or carpet or something just to give you a little cushion between there. But other than that, it does really well. I'm really, really impressed with the quality of how this one works and what it does. You see this thing, everyone's like, what is that? It's my little fuzzy thing that goes over my um, seatbelt. And the reason why, because it does, so it cuts into my neck. It just makes it feel better. If you don't have one of these, I highly recommend it. Just go to your local AutoZone or Rally's, Amazon, and get you one, because it's life changing. I think I drove, where did I drive? I think I drove this like 3 states before I got one. I was like, oh no, no, no. Oh no, no, I got to do something. Then I kept putting a towel, kept putting something there. So much easier. And it's not you know, hot or heavy or anything like that. It's just comfortable. Gotta get the things that make it really comfortable for you. Well, let's see where we are here. Let's turn it around. We're in Wall Triana. Wall Triana. I never know which way it's a town. Oh, there's Duluth. I'm not gonna go to Duluth. And there's BJ's. So if you ever been to BJ's Wholesale Club, I know they have diesel. Their diesel's really cheap. It's worth it if you can find them, but it's you of course it's a membership you gotta pay once again, like a Costco or something like that. Pretty handy. Pretty handy. Yeah, I wish more of those wholesale clubs had diesel at the pump because I would I would be there just for that. Now I can't always get like the mega rolls of toilet paper or the mega it's hard to get small enough things to put in the rig because when you travel small, you can't get all that great savings of huge stuff. So unless you go with friends, which is not a bad idea, if you go with friends and like a bunch of other RVers, maybe you guys can, split a roll of a big thing of paper towels or whatever. I think that's a good way of doing it. Always a good way of doing it. So I know I've got to go grocery shopping today and start thinking about, okay, what do I really need and where am I going to be cooking and where am I going to put it? Water is a big issue. I know a lot of people have been talking. I've been dealing with the water thing for a while, and I've recently been using Blue Tech water, and I love their system. It's a 3 filtration system, but you've got to make sure that your holding tanks are clean too. So you put clean water in, so you're going to have clean pipes and clean holding tank, or it will smell and stink and stuff like that. So really, really like the idea of filtering it before it gets in my system in the RV because why would you bring all that sediment in and then filter it inside your RV? That means it's going to be dirty. Ew. Like, yeah, no thanks. No, we don't want it. We want it clean before it even hits the tanks or it even hits the system. That way we know we're going to get the cleanest, um, keep it as clean as possible. Because you know what? I am really picky on the maintenance of my RV. If you guys know me, you know I'm like, tire pressure, going through my electrical and plumbing. I'm super picky. I like to make sure it's really, really, really well maintained because you're driving it all the time. And things shake and move and twist and turn, and it just happens. It just happens. So you got to go around and tighten things up and look at things. As a matter of fact, my tire pressure monitoring system, my 2 inside dually tires. I think this is sitting here. Last week didn't work at all. I just went, what are the odds of the both inside dually tires just not saying low, just like not registering? The other ones totally registering, but those two weren't. And I went and tightened them up a little bit, looked at it, and I thought, oh, I'll take them off or I'll switch them on another tire and see what I come up with. Well, guess what? They just magically work. How cool is that? Hey there, saying hi to people as they're coming in. All right, I am just about to my destination, but I want to pop in and say hi to my friends on a Sunday, on my Sunday Drivestream, and hope everyone's having a great day. And make sure you guys travel safe and just remember that every day's an adventure. Bye, everybody.